Imagine it's January 20th, 1265. London is freezing, the Thames is a muddy slush, and the air smells like wood smoke and, well, medieval hygiene. Inside the Great Wall of Westminster, a man named Simon de Montfort is about to commit treason, but he's not doing it with a sword, he's doing it with a piece of parchment. He's about to invite the wrong people into the room, people who smell like sheep and sawdust, people with dirt under their fingernails, the commoners. I'm James Bay, and today on History Habits, we're looking at why this one meeting, the summons of the shires, is the secret blueprint to architecting your ultimate life.
By the grace of God, know ye that we have summoned.
The Shire cannot bear this new tax, my lord. We demand redress.
The king's business must proceed.
We're moving from a subject of your circumstances to the sovereign of your future. To understand why this day matters, we have to talk about King Henry III. Henry was, let's be polite, a bit of a disaster. He believed in the divine right of kings, which is basically the 13th century of because I said so. He spent money like a billionaire with a hole in his pocket, lavish cathedrals, failed foreign wars, and he expected the barons to pay for it all. Now, the barons were the 1% of the 1%. They had the titles, the land, and the armored horses, and they were annoyed.
I will not yield another farthing to the crown. It is robbery!
You swore an oath, Baron. Pay what is due or face the consequences.
Point of debate. Was Simon de Montfort a hero of the people or just a power-hungry opportunist? Historians have been fighting about this for 800 years. Some say he was the father of democracy. Others say he was a religious zealot who just wanted to stick it to his brother-in-law, the king. Honestly, it's probably both. Great things are often done by people with very messy motives. By 1264, Montfort had captured the king at the Battle of Luz. He's now effectively running England, but he has a big problem. The barons are fickle. They change sides faster than a modern politician. Montfort needs a new base of power. He needs you. On January 20th, 1265, Montfort issues the summons of the shires. This is the radical part. Usually, Parliament was just the king and his wealthy buddies, but Montfort demands that every county send 2 knights and every city send 2 burgesses.
By this proclamation you are summoned. The time has come for the common man to take his place in the governance of this realm. Come to the Parliament.
Merchants, traders, the middle class, basically. Can you imagine the smell in that room? You've got the Earl of Leicester in ermine trimmed silk on one side, and on the other side, Dave the wool merchant, who's wondering if he left the oven on back in Bristol. The aristocrat's blood must have run cold. Why? Because for the first time, power wasn't vertical. God to king to noble. It became horizontal, a network. Montfort realized that if you want to run a country or a life, you can't just rely on the high lords, your big ego and grand ambitions, of course. You have to listen to the people who actually know how much the wool costs. This parliament created what I call the system of the 3 keys. The king needs money, the barons need protection, and the commoners need stability. The commoners had a secret weapon, redress of grievances. They told the king, sure, we'll pay your taxes, but only if you fix the roads and stop your men from stealing our chickens. It was a market for power. This is the transition from force to negotiation. If you're constantly forcing yourself to do things and failing, it's because you haven't started negotiating with your own internal commons. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well for Simon. A few months later, at the Battle of Evesham, he was killed and quite literally chopped into pieces. The king was back in charge. On paper, January 20th was a failure. But here's the kicker. The king's son, Edward, realized Montfort was right. He saw that the commoners had the money. You couldn't run England without them. The House of Commons was born from the ashes of a lost battle. So what does a dismembered medieval rebel have to do with your Tuesday afternoon? Everything.
This fowl is dry as dust. Do you call this a feast? Fetch me better wine and be quick about it.
Most people live like Henry III. They have a king ego that makes grand demands. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to start $1 billion company. But they haven't summoned their shires. Here is your 1265 life architecture plan. The commoner audit identifies 3 low-level habits you've been ignoring: sleep, water, basic organization. These are your burgesses. They get a seat at the table. The Sunday summoning. Every Sunday at 6 p.m., hold a meeting. Look at your ledger. Where did the money go? And your calendar. Where'd the time go? Redress of grievances. Stop trying to achieve big goals until you fix one thing that pisses you off every day. A messy desk, a slow laptop. Fix the grievance before you pay the tax of the effort. In 2026, stop trying to rule your life with a sword. Start ruling it with a summons. If you found this look at 1265 helpful, or if you think Simon de Montfort was just a lucky trader, let's debate it in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe to History Habits, and share this with someone who needs to summon their own shires. I'm James Bay. Take your seat at the table. I'll see you in the next one.